My chosen one, stop for a moment and feel this, because this is not just another message passing through your day. This is a divine interruption, and it has found you at the exact second it was meant to. There's something happening right now that you cannot see with your physical eyes, but your spirit has already begun to sense it. That restless feeling you've been carrying, that quiet tension in your chest, that unexplainable thought that something is about to change, it was never your imagination. It was a signal that July 5th is approaching as a turning point written into your destiny long before you ever walked this earth. Archangel Michael steps forward in this moment, not gently, but with urgency, because what is about to unfold in your life cannot be delayed any longer. This is not a coincidence. This is not luck. This is alignment. Heaven has been moving pieces behind the scenes, rearranging people, closing doors, redirecting your steps, even when it felt confusing, even when it felt painful. And now, the truth is being revealed. What felt like rejection was protection. What felt like delay was divine timing. What felt like silence was preparation. You were never stuck. You were being positioned. There were moments you questioned everything. Moments you wondered if you were falling behind, while everyone else seemed to move forward. You may have even asked, why is nothing working out for me? But what you could not see was this: if certain things had worked out, they would have taken you away from this exact moment, this exact alignment, this exact destiny. July 5th is not random. It is a spiritual checkpoint, a line drawn in time where your past and your future meet. And on that line, everything begins to shift. Archangel Michael reveals that there has been a battle over your life. Not a physical one, but a spiritual one. A battle over your purpose, your influence, and your future. And the reason the pressure felt so intense lately is because you are standing at the edge of breakthrough. Something is about to unlock. A door that has been closed for so long is beginning to open. And when it does, it will not just change one area of your life. It will shift everything. Your environment, your connections, your opportunities, even the way people see you. Because this is not just about change. This is about elevation. There is a level of influence that has been prepared for you. A position where your voice will matter, where your presence will carry weight, where your decisions will impact others in ways you cannot yet fully understand. And this is why the timing had to be exact. If this moment came too early, you would not have been ready to carry it. If it came too late, the opportunity would have passed. But now everything is aligning perfectly. This is your moment. And Archangel Michael stands as your protector at this threshold, ensuring that nothing meant for you can be stolen, delayed, or destroyed any longer. So listen closely, because what is about to be revealed next will open your eyes to a truth that will change the way you see every struggle, every delay, and every step of your journey. Nothing was wasted, not a single moment. And once you understand why, everything will begin to make sense. A truth is now rising before you, one that may feel overwhelming at first, but it carries a deep sense of clarity once you allow it to settle within your spirit. This moment you are stepping into was not created recently. It was not decided yesterday, last month, or even a few years ago. It was written into the fabric of your existence long before you were born. Archangel Michael reveals that your life has never been random. Every season you have walked through, every unexpected turn, every delay that made no sense, each of these moments has been part of a carefully designed path leading you here. You were not simply living your life. You were being guided through it, even in the moments you felt completely alone. There were times when things seemed to fall apart without warning. Opportunities slipped through your hands, relationships shifted or ended, and plans you believed in suddenly dissolved. In those moments, it felt like loss. It felt like confusion. But now, from this higher perspective, you are being shown the truth. Those moments were not setbacks. They were redirections. If certain doors had remained open, they would have taken you away from this exact alignment that is now forming. If certain people had stayed, they would have slowed down what is now accelerating in your life. If certain plans had succeeded, they would have locked you into a version of your life that was far smaller than what you are now stepping into. This is why some things had to break. This is why some paths had to close. Not because you failed, but because you were being preserved for something greater. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this truth. He has watched over the path you could not fully understand. He has guarded you in moments where you were unaware of the dangers you were being protected from. He has ensured that even when you felt lost, you were never truly off course. There is a reason you felt different from others. A reason your journey did not follow the same pattern as those around you. While others seemed to move forward in predictable ways, your life carried an unusual rhythm. Periods of stillness followed by sudden shifts. Moments of clarity followed by deep uncertainty. That rhythm was intentional. It was the process of preparation. You were being shaped in ways that could not happen through comfort alone. You were being taught resilience, discernment, and inner strength. You were being trained to trust what cannot be seen, to move forward even when clarity was not immediately given. And now, all of that preparation is about to make sense. Because July 5th is not just a date, it is a moment where everything begins to connect. The lessons you learned in isolation will now guide you in positions of influence. The strength you built in silence will now support you in moments of visibility. The patience you were forced to develop will now allow you to handle what is coming without fear or doubt. This is why the timing had to be perfect. You were not being delayed. You were being developed. There were qualities within you that needed to mature before you could carry what is now being placed into your life. And heaven was not going to rush that process, because what is being entrusted to you is significant. Archangel Michael reveals that there is a level of responsibility tied to this next chapter. The influence you are stepping into is not just about success or recognition. It is about impact. It is about the lives you will touch, the paths you will shape, and the presence you will carry into spaces where change is needed. And because of that, you had to be ready. Now, as this moment approaches, you may begin to notice subtle shifts, a new clarity in your thoughts, a sense of direction where there was once confusion, opportunities that seemed to appear at the right time, almost as if they were waiting for you. This is not coincidence. This is alignment in motion. Everything that once felt scattered is now being brought together. Everything that once felt uncertain is now being clarified. And everything that once felt delayed is now beginning to move forward. But there is still something deeper you must understand, something that explains why the pressure felt so intense leading up to this moment. Because what you have experienced was not just preparation. It was also a battle. And what you are about to discover next will reveal the hidden forces that have been working behind the scenes, both for you and against you, all along. A truth is now rising before you, one that may feel overwhelming at first, but it carries a deep sense of clarity once you allow it to settle within your spirit. What you have experienced was not just preparation. It was a battle. Archangel Michael reveals that there has been a quiet but powerful spiritual conflict surrounding your life. Not one that could be seen with physical eyes, but one that has influenced the timing, the delays, and even the emotional weight you have carried. There were forces that recognized the influence you were meant to step into long before you became aware of it yourself. And because of that, resistance formed. Have you ever noticed how certain moments in your life felt unusually difficult, even when you were doing everything right? Times when progress suddenly slowed down for no clear reason. Moments when confusion entered your mind without warning, causing you to question your path, your decisions, even your worth. That was not random. Those were points of pressure. Archangel Michael explains that whenever a person is destined for influence, there is often an increase in resistance before the breakthrough. Not because you are weak, but because what you carry is valuable. What is within you has the potential to shift environments, to inspire others, and to create change that goes beyond your immediate understanding. And anything with that level of impact will always face opposition before it is released. But here's what you were never meant to see as defeat. Every time you felt pushed back, you were actually being held in place until the right moment. Every delay served as a shield. Every confusion prevented premature movement. You were being protected from stepping into situations that were not aligned with your true path. Even the emotional battles you faced had purpose. The doubt you wrestled with taught you discernment. The loneliness you experienced taught you independence. The moments when you felt misunderstood strengthened your connection to your inner truth. None of it was wasted. Archangel Michael stood in those unseen moments as your defender. There were things that could have reached you, opportunities that could have distracted you, paths that could have taken you far away from your destiny, but they were blocked. Not because you were denied, but because you were being preserved. This is why, despite everything, you are still here, still moving forward, still standing, still seeking. And now, as July 5th approaches, something begins to shift in the spiritual atmosphere around you. The resistance that once felt constant begins to weaken. The heaviness starts to lift. What once felt like a struggle begins to feel lighter, clearer, more directed. This is not your imagination. This is the battle reaching its conclusion. Archangel Michael reveals that you are not stepping into this next phase alone. You are stepping into it with protection, with guidance, and with a level of clarity that was not available to you before. The opposition that once tried to delay you no longer has the same authority over your path, because the timing has now been released. You may begin to notice that things start moving faster than expected. Decisions become easier. Doors that once seemed locked suddenly open. People enter your life at the right moment, saying the right things, offering the right opportunities. This is what happens when alignment replaces resistance. And here is the truth you must carry forward. The intensity of the battle you faced is directly connected to the significance of the influence you are about to carry. You were not being targeted, you were being prepared. You are moving from pressure into purpose, from confusion into clarity, from delay into divine movement. So if you have been questioning your journey, this is your answer. You were being shaped for something greater. Type "I am ready for my breakthrough" in the comments if this message is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 739 has just been released. Now hear this clearly, because this is your moment of alignment. As this message reaches you, heaven is opening a window for obedience. The seed you release today becomes light in someone else's darkness. Scripture declares, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." And this is not a distant promise. It is God speaking directly into your now. When you choose to support this mission, you are not helping a channel. You are helping a soul find direction, healing, and truth. I feel led to say this plainly. I am responding to this message, and I will sow into what God is doing here. Let this act become your agreement with heaven's timing. Like a river that never runs dry, your giving opens a flow over your life that cannot be blocked. There is urgency in this moment. Do not delay what your spirit is prompting you to do. Use the Super Thanks button or the PayPal link in the description, even the QR code placed for you. As you give, may doors open, may favor locate you, and may your life reflect the abundance of obedience. Step into this now. There is something within you that you may have overlooked for most of your life, something so subtle that it did not appear extraordinary on the surface, yet it has always set you apart in ways you could never fully explain. You have felt it, that quiet sense of being different, not better than others, not separate in a negative way, but simply not the same. While others seemed comfortable following predictable paths, you often felt pulled in directions that did not always make sense to those around you. Archangel Michael reveals that this feeling was never accidental. It was a sign that your life was not designed for an ordinary path, but for one that carries influence, purpose, and responsibility beyond what is immediately visible. There were moments when you tried to fit into spaces that were not aligned with who you truly are. Times when you adjusted yourself to be understood, accepted, or included. But even then, something inside you resisted. A quiet voice that would not let you fully settle into anything that was not meant for you. That voice was guidance. That discomfort was direction. Because those who are chosen for influence are rarely allowed to become too comfortable in environments that limit their growth. You were being gently pulled away from what was familiar so you could eventually step into what is aligned. Think about the patterns in your life. You may have noticed that you outgrew people, places, or situations faster than expected. Just when something began to feel stable, something would shift. At times, this felt frustrating. You may have questioned why you could not simply remain in one place, why things could not stay consistent. But now you are being shown the deeper meaning. You were never meant to stay where you started. Archangel Michael reveals that your sensitivity is also part of this sign. You have the ability to sense things that others overlook. You can feel the energy in a room, the intentions behind words, the truth behind appearances. This has sometimes made your journey more challenging, because you could not ignore what did not feel right. But this sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a form of awareness that will guide you in the position you are stepping into. There were also moments when you felt deeply misunderstood, when you tried to explain your thoughts, your vision, or your feelings, and others could not fully grasp what you meant. This may have caused you to withdraw at times, to keep things to yourself rather than face confusion or judgment. But even that had purpose, because you were being trained to rely on inner clarity rather than external validation. Archangel Michael shows that those who are chosen for influence must first become grounded within themselves. They must learn to trust their inner direction, even when it is not confirmed by others. And that is exactly what you have been learning, step by step, through every experience. Another sign you may recognize is the way challenges seem to find you in moments when you were about to move forward. Just as you were gaining momentum, something would appear to slow you down or redirect you. At times, it felt like a pattern you could not escape. But now the truth is clear. You were being refined. Every challenge sharpened your understanding. Every obstacle strengthened your patience. Every unexpected turn expanded your perspective. You were being prepared to handle complexity, to navigate uncertainty, and to remain steady even when circumstances shift. These are not ordinary qualities. These are the marks of someone who is being prepared for influence. And now, as this turning point approaches, these signs begin to connect. The difference you felt, the sensitivity you carried, the challenges you faced, the way you could not settle for less than what felt true, all of it forms a pattern. A pattern that points to one truth. You were chosen, not in a way that separates you from others, but in a way that calls you into responsibility, into a position where your presence will matter, where your voice will carry weight, and where your actions will create impact beyond what you can currently see. This is why your journey could not be ordinary. This is why your path required depth. Because what you are stepping into requires more than surface-level strength. It requires awareness, resilience, and clarity, and you have been developing all of these qualities over time. Archangel Michael reveals that as July 5th draws near, these signs will no longer feel distant or unclear. You will begin to see exactly how they connect to the opportunities and changes that are now aligning in your life. What once felt like isolated experiences will now reveal themselves as preparation for something much greater. And as this realization deepens, you will begin to understand not only that you were chosen, but why. Right now, even as you are listening to these words, something is happening behind the scenes of your life that you cannot fully see yet, but you are about to feel its effects very soon. There is movement. Not the kind of movement that is loud or obvious, but a quiet, precise rearrangement taking place in the spiritual realm. Archangel Michael reveals that heaven is actively aligning the circumstances of your life, bringing together the right people, the right opportunities, and the right timing in a way that could never be forced by human effort alone. This is divine orchestration. You may still look around and see things that appear unchanged. The same environment, the same routines, the same unanswered questions. But what you cannot see is that the foundation beneath these visible things is shifting. Pieces are being moved. Conversations are being prepared. Doors are being unlocked. And all of it is happening in perfect timing. There are individuals who are about to enter your life, not by coincidence, but by alignment. These are people who will recognize something in you that others may have overlooked. They will see your value, understand your perspective, and connect with your purpose in a way that feels natural and effortless. You will not have to force these connections. They will flow. Archangel Michael shows that there are also opportunities forming. Opportunities that match the version of you that has been shaped through your past experiences. These are not random chances. They are precise openings that require the exact qualities you have developed over time. This is why your journey had to unfold the way it did. You were being prepared to recognize these moments when they appear. Because not every opportunity is meant for you, but the ones that are aligned will feel different. They will carry a sense of clarity, even if they challenge you. They will stretch you, but they will not confuse you. That is how you will know. At the same time, there are things being removed. Certain connections that no longer align may begin to fade naturally. Situations that once held your attention may lose their importance. This is not loss. It is refinement. It is the clearing of space for what is truly meant to enter your life. Archangel Michael emphasizes that this process is necessary. You cannot step into a new level while holding on to what belongs to the past. And so, even if some changes feel unexpected, trust that they are part of this alignment. Trust that what is leaving is making room for something greater. There is also a shift happening within you. Your thoughts may begin to feel clearer. Decisions that once felt complicated may now feel simple. You may notice that you are less drawn to distractions and more focused on what truly matters. This internal clarity is a reflection of the external alignment taking place. Everything is beginning to match. Your inner state and your outer circumstances are coming into harmony. And this is where true movement begins. Because when alignment is present, things no longer require force. They begin to unfold naturally, with a sense of flow that feels almost effortless compared to what you experienced before. Archangel Michael reveals that July 5th is a point where this alignment becomes visible. Not necessarily all at once, but in clear, undeniable ways. You will begin to see connections forming, opportunities appearing, and situations resolving in ways that confirm that something greater is at work. This is the moment where preparation meets manifestation, where what has been developing internally begins to express itself externally, and you will recognize it. Not because someone tells you, but because it will feel right. It will carry a sense of certainty that does not need validation. A quiet knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. But there is one more layer to this alignment that you must understand. It is not only about what is coming toward you. It is also about the role you are stepping into. Because as these circumstances align, they are positioning you for something specific. Something that goes beyond personal growth or success. They are positioning you for influence. And as this realization begins to take shape, you will start to see not just what is changing around you, but what is awakening within you. There is a presence that has been walking beside you through every moment of your life, even in the times when you felt completely alone, even in the moments when you believed no one understood what you were going through. That presence is not distant. It is not passive. It is active, protective, and deeply aware of every detail of your journey. Archangel Michael reveals that his role in your life hath been far greater than you may have realized. He has not only been watching from a distance, he has been involved in the unfolding of your path, standing as a guardian over the very transitions you are now beginning to understand. There were moments when things could have gone differently for you. Moments where one decision, one encounter, or one unexpected event could have led you down a completely different path. Paths that may have looked appealing at first, but would have taken you away from the destiny you are now stepping into. But those paths were interrupted, not always in ways you recognized, but in ways that ensured your protection. Archangel Michael was present in those interruptions. When something did not work out the way you expected, when a plan suddenly changed, when a connection did not develop the way you thought it would, those were not random disappointments. They were acts of redirection, guided by a force that could see beyond what you could understand at the time. There were also moments when you felt a sudden sense of caution, an inner hesitation that made you pause even when everything seemed fine on the surface. That quiet warning, that subtle feeling that something was not right, that was not fear, that was protection. Archangel Michael communicates in ways that are often gentle but precise. Not through loud declarations, but through impressions, instincts, and inner nudges that guide you away from what is not aligned and toward what is. You may not have recognized it then, but you are beginning to recognize it now. As this turning point approaches, his presence becomes more noticeable, not because it is new, but because you are becoming more aware. The clarity you are starting to feel, the sense of direction that is forming within you, the calm confidence that is replacing confusion, these are signs of guidance becoming clearer. You are not being left to figure this out alone. You are being led. Archangel Michael reveals that his role is not only to protect, but also to prepare you for what is ahead. As you step into a position of greater influence, the level of awareness required increases. The decisions you make will carry more weight. The environments you enter will require discernment. And this is why his guidance is becoming more direct. You may begin to notice that certain thoughts come to you with unusual clarity. That certain choices feel immediately right or immediately wrong without the need for overthinking. That certain paths feel open while others feel blocked, even if they appear similar on the surface. This is alignment guided by protection. It is not about forcing your way forward. It is about recognizing where the path is already being opened for you. Archangel Michael also reveals that fear will not be your guide in this next phase. Clarity will be. Where there is fear, there is often confusion. But where there is alignment, there is a quiet certainty, even if the path ahead is unfamiliar. You are being trained to recognize the difference, to move not based on pressure or urgency, but based on inner knowing. This is a shift from reacting to circumstances to responding with awareness, from questioning every step to trusting the direction that is being revealed to you. And as this shift continues, you will begin to see how deeply you have been supported all along. There were things you were protected from that you will only fully understand in hindsight. Situations that seemed disappointing at the time will reveal themselves as necessary redirections. Moments that felt confusing will begin to make sense. Archangel Michael has been ensuring that you arrive at this moment exactly as you are meant to. Not earlier, not later. Now. And as you stand at this threshold, you are not stepping forward without guidance. You are stepping forward with a presence that has already prepared the way ahead of you. This is why you can move with confidence. Not because you have all the answers, but because you are not walking this path alone. And as this awareness settles within you, something else begins to rise. A sense that a door is about to open. Not just any door, but one that carries the potential to shift everything. And when it opens, you will need to be ready to step through it without hesitation. There is a moment approaching in your life that will not look dramatic at first, but it will carry a weight and significance that you will feel instantly the second it arrives. You will feel different. Not because everything around you suddenly changes, but because something within you recognizes it. A quiet certainty will rise, a deep knowing that this is not just another opportunity, not just another situation, but something far more important. Archangel Michael reveals that this is the door that has been prepared for you. A door that has remained closed until now, not because it was denied to you, but because the timing was not yet complete. Everything that needed to happen before this moment, every lesson, every delay, every redirection, was leading to this exact opening. And now, it is about to open. This door may come in a form you do not expect. It may not look like what you imagined in the past. It could appear as a conversation, an invitation, a sudden idea, or an unexpected shift in your current situation. But what will set it apart is the alignment you feel when it arrives. There will be no confusion. Even if it challenges you, even if it stretches you beyond your comfort zone, there will be clarity, a sense that this is right, even if it is unfamiliar. This is how you will recognize it. Archangel Michael explains that many people miss their moment because they hesitate. They wait for everything to feel safe, predictable, and fully understood before they move forward. But this door is not designed for hesitation. It is designed for readiness. And readiness does not mean having every answer. It means trusting what you feel within. You have been prepared for this. Every experience you have gone through has built something inside you that is now required for what lies ahead. The strength you developed, the awareness you gained, the patience you learned, all of it will come into play the moment this door opens. But there is something important you must understand. This door will not remain open forever. It is aligned with timing. Just as it was closed until now, it will not wait indefinitely once it opens. This is why Archangel Michael is bringing this awareness to you now, so that when the moment arrives, you do not second-guess yourself or allow doubt to delay your response. Because doubt may try to appear. You may hear thoughts that question whether you are truly ready, whether you are capable, whether you should wait for a better moment. But those thoughts do not reflect truth. They reflect the old patterns that you are now moving beyond. You are no longer in that place. You are stepping into something new. And this door is part of the transition. Archangel Michael reveals that stepping through this door will begin a chain reaction in your life. One decision will lead to another. One opportunity will connect to the next. What starts as a single moment will expand into something much larger than you can currently see. This is why it is so significant. Because it is not just about what happens when you step through. It is about everything that follows. You are being positioned for influence. And this door is the entry point. It may require courage. It may require you to leave behind what feels comfortable. It may require you to trust yourself in ways you have never had to before. But this is where your preparation becomes real. This is where everything you have learned begins to serve a purpose beyond survival or growth. It becomes the foundation for impact, for leadership, for the role you are about to step into. Archangel Michael stands at this doorway with you, not to push you, but to remind you that you are not alone in this moment. His presence is there to steady you, to strengthen you, and to ensure that as you move forward, you do so with clarity rather than fear. You are not being rushed, but you are being called. Called to step forward when the moment arrives. Called to trust what you feel rather than what you fear. Called to move into the space that has been prepared for you. And when you do, you will begin to see how everything starts to unfold. Not all at once, but step by step, in a way that confirms that you are exactly where you are meant to be. So stay aware. Stay open. Because the moment this door appears, you will recognize it. And when you do, the only thing left will be your decision to step through. There is one thing, one simple yet powerful shift, that will determine whether you fully step into this destiny that has been prepared for you, or whether you hesitate at the threshold and delay what is already aligned. It is not about talent. It is not about resources. It is not even about timing anymore, because the timing has already been set. It is about your response. Archangel Michael reveals that in moments of divine alignment, the difference between stepping forward and staying behind comes down to a single decision, to trust or to doubt. And right now, you are being called into trust. Not blind trust, not forced belief, but a deep inner agreement with what you already feel. That quiet knowing that has been growing within you. The sense that something is shifting, that something is opening, that your life is moving into a new phase. That feeling is not misleading you. It is guiding you. But here is what often happens. When the moment arrives, the mind begins to question what the spirit already knows. Thoughts begin to appear, asking whether this is the right move, whether you should wait, whether you need more confirmation before taking a step forward. And this is where many people pause. They wait for certainty to come from the outside, when in reality, it has already been placed within them. Archangel Michael explains that stepping into your destiny requires alignment between your inner knowing and your outer action. It is not enough to feel that something is right. You must also move in that direction. This is the shift. From waiting to responding. From observing to acting. From questioning to trusting. You have already spent time preparing. You have already been shaped through experiences that strengthened your awareness and your resilience. You are not the same person you were before, and because of that, you are capable of making decisions now that you could not have made in the past. This is why the moment is here. Because you are ready. But readiness must be activated. Archangel Michael reveals that activation happens through choice. Through the willingness to step forward even when everything is not fully visible, even when the path ahead is not completely clear. Because clarity does not always come before movement. Sometimes it comes through movement. You begin to understand as you step. You begin to see as you move. You begin to align more deeply as you respond to what is already being shown to you. There is also something else you must release in this moment. The need for perfect conditions. The idea that everything must feel completely safe, completely predictable, completely certain before you take action. That mindset belongs to an earlier version of your journey, a time when you were still learning, still building your foundation. But now, you are being called into something higher, a space where you move with awareness, not with fear, a space where you trust the direction, even if the full picture is not yet visible. Archangel Michael shows that hesitation is not your path forward anymore. Discernment is. You are not being asked to rush or to act without thought. You are being asked to recognize the difference between fear-based hesitation and intuitive clarity. One creates confusion. The other creates direction. And you already know the difference. You have felt it before. So when this moment fully arrives, when the door opens and the opportunity stands in front of you, remember this. You do not need to become ready. You already are. All that remains is your willingness to step into it, to say yes, to move forward, to trust that what has been prepared for you is not beyond your ability to handle, but perfectly matched to who you have become. Type "I trust the path" before me in the comments if you are ready to step into alignment. Blessing code 8821 is now activated. And as you stand in this moment of decision, understand this: what you choose to do now does not only affect your life, it extends beyond you. Every seed you sow into what God is doing becomes light in someone else's darkness. The word says, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days," and this is your moment to act on that living promise. I feel this strongly for you. I am stepping into obedience, and I will support this divine work. When you give, you are not losing. You are planting into a harvest that will return in ways you cannot yet see. Like oil that keeps flowing, your generosity opens channels that cannot be closed. Do not hesitate in this moment. Use the Super Thanks button or the PayPal link in the description, even the QR code prepared for you. As you release your seed, may favor locate you, may doors open before you, and may your life reflect the power of alignment. Step into this now. What you are stepping into is not small, and it is not temporary. It is something that carries weight, responsibility, and a level of influence that will extend far beyond what you can currently measure. Archangel Michael reveals that the influence prepared for you is not about status, recognition, or attention in the way the world often defines it. It is deeper than that. It is about impact. It is about the way your presence shifts environments, the way your words reach people at the right moment, and the way your actions create change that continues even after you have moved forward. You may not have fully realized it yet, but there is something about you that others notice, even if they cannot explain it. It may show up in the way people listen when you speak, in the way others feel understood when they are around you, in the way your perspective brings clarity into situations where there was confusion. This is not accidental. This is part of the influence you carry. And as this next phase begins, this influence will increase. Not all at once, but steadily. You will begin to notice that your role in certain situations becomes more significant. People may start to look to you for guidance, for direction, or for reassurance. Opportunities may place you in positions where your decisions affect more than just yourself. This is the expansion of your impact. Archangel Michael explains that true influence is not forced. It is not something you chase or try to prove. It is something that naturally grows when you are aligned with your purpose. When you are moving in the direction you are meant to move, your presence begins to carry weight without effort. That is what is happening now. You are being positioned in spaces where your influence is needed. But with this comes responsibility. Because influence is not just about what you gain. It is about what you give. It is about the way you use your voice, the way you treat others, and the way you respond in moments that require clarity and strength. You are being trusted with something meaningful, and that is why your preparation was so detailed. Archangel Michael reveals that every lesson you learned has a purpose in this next phase. The patience you develop will help you handle pressure without reacting. The discernment you gained will help you recognize what is true and what is not. The strength you built will allow you to stand firm even when situations become complex. Nothing you went through was random. It was all connected to this. There is also something important you must understand about influence. Not everyone will understand it. As your role begins to shift, as your presence begins to carry more weight, there may be people who do not fully see or accept this change. Some may question it. Some may misunderstand it. Others may distance themselves because they cannot relate to the path you are now walking. This is part of the process. Archangel Michael reminds you that influence often requires separation. Not in a negative sense, but in a necessary one. As you step into new spaces, you may no longer fit into certain environments or relationships in the same way you once did. And that is okay. You are not losing connection. You are aligning with purpose. The right people will recognize what is happening. The right connections will strengthen. And the right opportunities will continue to appear. Your role is not to convince everyone. Your role is to remain aligned, to stay grounded in what you know to be true, to move with clarity rather than seeking constant validation. Because the influence you carry does not come from external approval. It comes from inner alignment. Archangel Michael shows that this is only the beginning. What you are stepping into now is the first level of something that will continue to grow over time. As you move forward, your awareness will expand, your confidence will strengthen, and your ability to navigate complex situations will increase. You will not have to force this growth. It will happen naturally as you continue to respond to the opportunities placed before you. But always remember this. Influence is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming fully who you already are. The more you remain true to yourself, the stronger your impact will be. The more you trust your path, the clearer your direction will become. And the more you embrace this role, the more you will see how everything in your life has been leading to this moment. You are not stepping into something uncertain. You are stepping into something that was always meant for you. And as this realization settles within you, you will begin to understand not only the power of your influence but the responsibility that comes with it. There will be moments in this next phase of your life where you may look around and realize that not everyone understands what is happening to you, or why your path is unfolding the way it is. This realization may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you have spent much of your life trying to stay connected, understood, and aligned with those around you. But Archangel Michael reveals that this feeling is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is changing. As you step into greater alignment with your purpose, your perspective begins to shift. The way you think, the way you respond, and the way you see situations will start to differ from what others may expect. You may find that conversations no longer feel the same, that certain environments no longer hold your attention, and that your priorities begin to change in ways that others do not fully relate to. This is part of the transition. You are not becoming distant, you are becoming focused. There is a difference. Archangel Michael explains that when a person is being positioned for influence, there is often a period where they feel misunderstood. Not because they are doing something wrong, but because they are growing into a version of themselves that others have not yet seen before. And growth can be difficult for others to recognize. Some people may continue to see you as who you used to be. They may expect you to respond the same way, to make the same choices, to remain within the same patterns. But you are no longer in that space. You have changed, and that change is necessary. There may also be moments where you feel the distance more deeply. Times when you wish someone could fully understand what you are experiencing, when you want to explain the clarity you feel or the direction you are being guided toward, but the words do not seem to connect in the way you hoped. This can feel isolating, but Archangel Michael reminds you that this is not isolation, it is refinement. You are being brought into alignment with people and environments that match your current level of awareness. And as that alignment continues, the connections that are meant for you will become clearer and stronger. Not everyone is meant to walk every part of your journey. Some people were part of your preparation. Others will be part of your expansion. And understanding this will bring you peace, because it allows you to release the need to be fully understood by everyone, and instead focus on staying aligned with what you know to be true. Archangel Michael also reveals that misunderstanding often comes from difference, not from error. When your perspective begins to expand, it naturally moves beyond what is familiar to others. This does not make your path wrong, it simply makes it different. And difference is often the foundation of influence. Those who bring change, those who guide others, those who create impact are rarely understood at every stage of their journey. They are often recognized fully only after their path becomes visible in hindsight. But you are being asked to trust your path now, before it is fully visible to others, before it is fully understood. This is where your inner clarity becomes essential, because it will guide you when external understanding is not present. There is also something important to remember. As you move forward, you will begin to encounter people who do understand you. People who recognize your perspective, who resonate with your direction, and who support your growth without needing you to explain every detail. These are aligned connections, and they will come at the right time. Archangel Michael shows that your role is not to force understanding, but to remain steady in your alignment, to continue moving forward with clarity, even when others do not fully see what you see, because eventually, the results of your path will speak for themselves. The changes in your life, the opportunities that unfold, the influence you begin to carry, all of these will become visible. And in time, what once seemed unclear to others will begin to make sense. But for now, your focus is not on being understood. It is on being aligned with your purpose, aligned with your direction, aligned with the path that is unfolding before you. And as you continue to move in that alignment, you will find that the sense of isolation begins to fade, replaced by a deeper sense of confidence and clarity. Because you will no longer need external confirmation to know that you are on the right path. You will feel it, and that feeling will be enough to guide you forward into what comes next. Because there is still one final stage before everything fully opens. One last moment that will test everything you have learned, everything you have become, and everything you are now ready to step into. There is one final stage before everything fully opens for you. One moment that may seem small on the surface, but carries the weight of everything you have been prepared for. It is a test. Not a test meant to stop you, not a challenge designed to break you, but a moment that reveals whether you truly trust what you have learned, what you have felt, and what you now know within yourself. Archangel Michael reveals that just before a major breakthrough, there is often a moment where the old patterns attempt to return one last time. Doubt may try to rise again. Fear may whisper familiar thoughts. Circumstances may appear that look similar to past situations where things did not go the way you expected. This is not a setback. This is confirmation. It is the final opportunity for you to respond differently. In the past, you may have hesitated in moments like this. You may have second-guessed yourself, waited too long, or allowed uncertainty to guide your decisions. But now, you are not the same person. You have grown. You have gained awareness. You have learned how to recognize the difference between fear and intuition. And this moment will ask you to apply that understanding. Archangel Michael explains that the test is not about perfection. It is about alignment. It is about whether you choose to move forward with clarity or fall back into hesitation. Whether you trust what you feel or allow doubt to delay your response. The situation may look familiar, but your response must be different. That is where the shift happens. You may notice that this moment comes quietly. It may not be obvious at first that it is significant. It could be a decision you need to make, a step you are being asked to take, or even a moment where you are required to stand firm in what you know, even if it feels uncomfortable. But within that moment, you will feel it. That same inner knowing that has been guiding you. The same sense of clarity that has been growing stronger. And this time, you will recognize it. Archangel Michael reveals that this is where everything comes together. All the lessons, all the experiences, all the preparation you have gone through will meet in this one point of decision. And your response will determine how quickly you move into the next phase. Because the door is already there. The alignment is already in place. The opportunity is already prepared. This is simply the moment where you step fully into it. There may still be a part of you that feels uncertain, that wonders if you are truly ready. That is natural. Growth always comes with a level of discomfort, because it requires you to move beyond what is familiar. But do not confuse discomfort with misalignment. Sometimes, discomfort is a sign that you are expanding, that you are stepping into something larger than what you have known before. Archangel Michael encourages you to stay grounded in what you have learned, to remember the clarity you have felt, the signs you have recognized, and the understanding that has been revealed to you throughout this journey. You are not stepping into the unknown without preparation. You are stepping into what you have been prepared for all along. And this test is simply the final confirmation of that readiness. When you respond with trust, when you choose alignment over hesitation, something powerful happens. The resistance that once slowed you down no longer has a hold on you. The doubts that once confused you no longer control your decisions. The patterns that once repeated themselves are broken. And in that moment, you move forward. Not gradually, not uncertainly, but with a clear sense of direction. Archangel Michael reveals that once this step is taken, everything begins to open more fully. The door you sensed before becomes real. The opportunities that were forming begin to appear clearly. The alignment that was taking place behind the scenes becomes visible in your life. This is the shift. The moment where preparation becomes reality. The moment where potential becomes action. The moment where you step into the life that had been waiting for you. So when this final test appears, do not be afraid of it. Do not question it. Recognize it for what it is. A confirmation that you are ready. A moment that allows you to demonstrate everything you have become. And once you move through it, you will not return to where you were before. You will step into what has been prepared for you, fully and completely. Because after this, there is no more waiting, only arrival. Now, feel this moment not with your thoughts, but with your spirit. Because something has shifted. Not something distant or far away, but something real, something present, something that is already beginning to settle into your life even as you hear these words. The waiting is over. The questions that once filled your mind are beginning to quiet. The confusion that once surrounded your path is starting to clear. And in its place, there is something new, something steady, something that feels like peace. Archangel Michael reveals that this is what alignment feels like. Lot chaos, lot pressure, but clarity. A quiet, unshakable knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be, even if everything is still unfolding step by step. This is the peace that comes when your life begins to move in harmony with what was always meant for you. You are no longer searching in the same way. You are no longer trying to force things to happen. You are allowing what has already been prepared to come into your life. Allowing the doors to open without resistance. Allowing the right people, the right opportunities, and the right timing to meet you where you are. And as this happens, you will begin to notice something beautiful. Things will start to feel lighter. Not because life becomes perfect, but because you are no longer carrying what was never meant to stay with you. The weight of confusion, the pressure of uncertainty, the frustration of delay, these things begin to fall away as alignment takes their place. Archangel Michael shows that this is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where you move with confidence instead of hesitation. Where you trust your direction instead of questioning every step. Where you recognize your value instead of searching for validation. And most importantly, where you step into the influence that was always waiting for you. This influence will not feel forced. It will feel natural. It will show up in the way you speak, the way you respond, the way you carry yourself in situations that once felt uncertain. Others will begin to notice it, even if they cannot fully explain it. They will feel the clarity you carry, the steadiness in your presence, the quiet strength that has been built within you. This is who you are becoming, and this is who you were always meant to be. So as you move forward from this moment, do not look back with regret or confusion. Look back with understanding. See how every step, every delay, every challenge brought you here. Nothing was wasted. Everything had purpose. And now, you are stepping into the result of that purpose. Take a deep breath and receive this. You are aligned. You are guided. You are ready. Type "I step into my destiny" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 9901 is now activated. And as this peace settles over you, hear this clearly. This moment is not just about you. It is about every soul that is still searching for light. When you give into this mission, you become a vessel through which God reaches others who are still in their waiting season. The word declares, "Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed," and this is God speaking directly into your life right now. I feel led to say this with you. I am answering this call, and I will sow into this work. Like a river that never runs dry, your giving releases a flow that returns multiplied into your life. This is not a simple act. It is a prophetic step of alignment. Do not ignore this moment. Use the super thanks button or the PayPal link in the description, even the QR code placed before you. As you give, may doors open, may favor surround you, and may your life reflect the abundance of divine alignment. Step into this now.